Hey, and welcome back to the Hobby Farm. You're with Adam, and today we are not going to be working on the C10. Today we're going to be focusing on our indoor track, and if you've been following our channel, you've known that we have been struggling, to say the least. Got a piece of foam board down with some stuff I pulled in off the farm, and got a 2x12 and a center block and some just crazy. Threw it in the living room, and my wife is just unbelievably happy with me. That is a complete lie. So, with that being said, I think that we're going to build something out in the garage, and it's going to be portable. So that's what I'm thinking of. So before we go any farther, let's go ahead and go out to the garage and take a look at what I've already started. It's been a couple days progress, just a few hours here and there, but it's at least a start. So I do have something already laid out on a platform, but I'll go ahead and go over it when we're out there. Okay, we're back out here in the garage. So this is the temporary build, or at least our first build at an indoor course. Now, this is a mountain, or going to be a mountain one day, but this is not what we're going to be focusing on. I started with this and I was like, okay, that's going to be a lot of work, and it's really flimsy without getting it kind of stapled in with the spray foam. So what I did instead is I went ahead and started this. This is just some feed bags from our feed company, and egg cartons. There's some Little Debbie stuff. There's something that I got from Amazon that I'm sure does not contain any SCX-24 parts. They're just kind of thrown together, taped together, and that's kind of where we're at. Kind of got a mountain here and in the back, and have to crawl up a couple different ways. This is a really rough start. So we have to spray foam it still, and we have to put the plaster tape on it. So one thing that I'm doing different than I see a lot of other guys on YouTube do is they put their stuff on the table or on their pad or on their platform, and it's permanent. You can't change it. You can't move it. You can't change up your lines when you've driven it for the last 6 months in it, and you're bored with it, you know? So one thing that I've done is I've made an extra cutouts. So this will sit on there just like so, and I'm gonna adhere this to this piece of cardboard. So I'm gonna make sure that it doesn't move on the cardboard, but then I can pick this up and move it around, or at least that's the theory of this whole thing. So ideally we're gonna be something like this, to be able to have to crawl up this mountain, have a couple dead spaces. I'm gonna have some frame twisters in here. And then all of this is going to be, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, there's going to be 5 separate pieces in the back. And what that's going to do, let me switch over here. What that's going to do is allow me to kind of change up the course, change up the whole directionality of this whole course. So, like I said before, we're not going to get, it's never going to get stale on us. It is on 2-inch thick foam board. This is some chicken wire that I had laying around the farm, some PVC. This is a 1x. I've got it screwed into the board. That's not a really good fix-all, so I'm waiting to spray foam it, but I can't spray foam it till I'm ready to spray foam the whole course. So I'm getting ready to do that right now. We're getting ready to start this course build. We're going to use some 1-inch crack sealer. This is primarily going to be used for adhering the bags to these skids, I'm going to call them. So I can be able to continuously change up the course lines. I do have the 3-inch stuff, but that'll come into play later. But before I get jumping into this, one of two things. One, if you do hear some baby goat noises, we have evicted some of the children, not real children, not kids, but baby goats, outside into the garage, so their own little play area. I'll put a little clip in so you guys can see that. But I do have 2 special guests. You guys get to finally meet my kids. Here is Brooke.
Hi.
She's going to be helping me with the spray foam, and I believe Carter is as well. Carter?
Hello.
That is Mr. Carter. You guys have heard about him in the past. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dig in on this, and I'll probably go ahead and speed up the video. These are the goats that were in the house that have been evicted to the garage. No more pee pants in diapers. We're big boys and girls. Coco is to your left, if you guys have been following the channel, and this is her brother to the right. So what Carter's doing is he's going to see where it's touching this piece of cardboard. He's going to lift it up, and then he's going to give it a good old squeeze. This stuff, you want to make sure that you don't get it on you. If you do, just wipe it off as soon as it does touch your skin. Don't get it to your clothes. It will ruin them, stay there forever.
That's on your...
I'm just using a paper towel to wipe it off.
Yeah.
I've had it on me. There's some right there. Just take it and
Gotta smush it. Forget about
wipe it off. Some people wear gloves, but it's personal preference. Alright, so we got all the spray foaming done. That was our first run. I used the little can because I figured that little can would do exactly what it did.
Yeah.
This is the first one that we did, so it doesn't take long for it to set, and you can see that it's pretty tacky. But that's good. So, you know, I put it on the perimeter so that it would stay and stick and use it as like a bonding agent. So we're going to wait.
It's like glue.
Yes, it's just like glue. So we're going to wait till these adhere to the skids, and then we're going to reassemble the thing. Okay, so I went ahead and laid out a few pieces here. Like I said earlier, I'm going to try to make this thing to be movable. I don't know how well that's going to work as this is starting to come together and form. So I laid some pieces that I can try to put some spray foam in to be able to build up. I'd like to be able to crawl up here, and obviously I need something to get over in this area. So Carter is going to be keeping this piece straight as much as humanly possible so that it'll be level for when we're crawling. Okay, now for the next step, we've got the big gap filler up to 3-inch. I accidentally started without you guys. There was on that first one. We have this. We're gonna go ahead and go throughout the course with this. Build up in here and in here. I'd like this to be all of a mountain range here, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. So far I have 2 of these on this course and 1 of the 1-inch cans. I'm not doing an overly fantastic job of keeping it off of me. I've got some on my shirt, but it's a $5 shirt from Roking, so not overly concerned. Still trying to keep this in 2, or well, this piece and this piece here are conjoined at this point, but everything else is intermediate, and like I said, I've added some smaller pieces in here to help configure everything. So I'm going to get back to it. See you on the flip side. so this is the layout that we're kind of going for. Right now, this is in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces, 6 major pieces. And like I said earlier, this piece and this piece end up coming together, which is fine. That's no big deal. I can always use that as the back or something crazy. So now I'm going to be using some plaster tape, or at least that's what I'm calling it. There's a picture of a guy's foot, so I'm not real sure about that. On here, you'll need a bucket of water. Dip this in the water, and then mold it to whatever creation that you've decided to put it on. So here we go. I'm going to start with something small. That way I can get used to how it works and then move on to something big. So if I mess up, it's not that big of a deal. If it gives you any indication of how much of this tape you're going to need, this here, which is this size, right? This here used 10 foot. I'm overlapping them 1.5 inches to 2 inches, and then on the skirt over here, I'm overlapping them by 2 inches, or have about 2-inch overhang. So keep that in mind if you're doing it. I believe that's the right call. So it turns out that I needed more. Well, maybe this would have taken 12 foot, 13 foot. But, you know, you don't know what you don't know. So now we know. Ready to see this thing come apart. So there's 3 sections, 1 section, 2 section, and 3 section. Sorry about the baby goats in the background. They've already been fed 3 times a day. They don't think it's enough. They think they should have been fed 33 times. So let's get into this. Here's the first part. This is going to take forever. Let's get started. Okay, we are complete. 90% complete, I'd say. It definitely needs paint. 14 different pieces. About 2 or 3 days worth of work. I had to wait on Amazon to buy more plaster paper. But overall, pretty good. Pretty happy with it. But I think overall, pretty solid. Looks totally different than the pile of junk that was sitting there. Alright, so today we got a couple different colors to choose from. These 2 colors here are grippy. They say they have sand in them, but they're just textured paint. And then some earth tone colors. I am not a painter at all, don't claim to be, and this is not going to be something that's going to be uber pretty. I'm actually really thinking about just taking the whole track and doing it in this desert sand color, and it's grippy and it's simple. So that may be what we end up doing. We'll just have to find out and see how it goes. I'm going to start with some of these littler pieces and see how everything kind of turns out, and then we'll figure it out from there. Brooke is here with me, so we're gonna figure this out together.
Yeah, we're kind of just learning as we go through this.
Told you guys I was a painter.
We never claim to be painters, okay?
So I think we've decided what we wanted. We're gonna do the lower canyon in black and tan, and then move up to brown and black, and then move up to brown and green for the tops. Kind of inverted, but that's okay.
It looks like grass.
We can always repaint it.
Paint.
This is the course build end. I don't have a perimeter fence around it, but that'll all come in time. It's at least painted and looks semi-functional. I'm not real sold on that green just yet, but overall, I think for not being an artist and being my first go about, it's not too shabby. Overall, pretty good for the first run through. May need to change up the paint scheme a little bit later, but I need to figure out how to permanently attach all these together, but still make them movable in the end. Overall, I like it. Give us something to crawl on, test vehicles on, so win-win.